At
the
cities
other
which
end,
were present
very
thousand
young
years before, cities
enthusiastic
which are
people.
present
Nowhere
now.
I've seen many
A
cities are
gathering
vanished.
in which youngsters are present, very passionately.
Jai Sri Ram, Om Namah
They want to
Shivaya.
take the temple economics to a
அனைவருக்கும்
different
என்னுடைய
level.
அன்பான காலை
Make
வணக்கத்தை
sure
தெரிவித்துக்
Sanatana
கொள்கின்றேன்.
Dharma keeps prospering.
I take this opportunity
And at the same time,
to seek the blessings of our
rediscover what
elders,
we have lost.
Param Pujya Swamijis who are
and
sitting
bring those things to
here
the
and guiding
mainstream.
us.
At the same
And
time, on
also
the
the
other end, we
wonderful
have our
delegates
elders who are
who are
guiding
part
us,
of this very unique
helping us to
Temple Connect
rediscover
program.
what we have lost over the last 250
At the outset, I
years.
take the opportunity to thank and
Trying to
express my heartfelt
bring it back
appreciation
to the mainstream. That is why
for
this
the
gathering is
chairman
very unique.
of this
Passionate
convention,
youngsters in
Prasad
the one
Ladji,
end, and
the
our
founder
senior
was
elders in the
instrumental
other end.
behind making this convention.
If you look at many of
An
the
event
global
where
cities,
the whole of Bharat
if you take
is
last
assembled
1,000
in
years,
Tirupati today, Girish
the
Kulkarni.
cities which were present 1,000 years before, cities which
Ladies
are
and
present
gentlemen,
now, many
brothers and
cities have
sisters,
vanished.
I'm
Cities
very
which have
happy and
withstood
very
1,000
delighted.
years, even
Temple Connect program last year in Varanasi and this year in Tirupati is able to bring our Swamijis, our Adinams, our Gurus, one end. At the other end, very, very young, enthusiastic people. Nowhere I've seen a gathering in which youngsters are present, very passionately. They want to take the temple economics to a different level. Make sure Sanatana Dharma keeps prospering. And at the same time, rediscover what we have lost and bring those things to the mainstream. At the same time, on the other end, we have our elders who are guiding us, helping us to rediscover what we have lost over the last 250 years. Trying to bring it back to the mainstream. That is why this gathering is very unique. Passionate youngsters in the one end and our senior elders in the other end. If you look at many of the global cities, if you take last 1,000 years, the cities which were present 1,000 years before, cities which are present now, many cities have vanished. Cities which have withstood 1,000 years, even now, which are centers of civilization. If we take cities like Varanasi, cities like Madurai, cities like Ujjain, cities like Pushkar, if we take some of the cities, very clearly we can find cities which should withstand the ravages of time, which are standing for the last 1,000 years. Very clearly we can connect all those cities are temple cities. Only temple cities are eternal cities. They're there for a long, long time. Other day I was reading an article by a temple researcher called Sandeep Singh Ji. I think today or tomorrow is also talking here. He has gone through some of the American cities. Cities like Detroit around World War II, which were the cradles of automobile manufacturing. It lost 25% of its population between 2000 and 2010. Those cities are fast coming down. At one point of time, big cities. Even now in India, some cities are called Detroit of India. If you go to Coimbatore, a city in which I'm living now, they say Coimbatore is Detroit of South India. But if you look at the status of Detroit, it is fast vanishing. Cities like Atlantic City, which is known for its gambling and which is known for its entertainment industry, it is one of the top 10 dying cities in US. It is the 9th out of 10 dying city. So cities which made a name in some sector, some industry, it is all fast going down. But cities which are eternal are our cities in which a temple is the fulcrum of that city. Very clearly from history we can understand. That is why this convention is very important, because we are trying to find a common denominator that is connecting all the temple cities. We are using the word called temple economics. We have heard a lot of economic theory. What is the temple economics? How can temple be the fulcrum of generating economic activity around that area? And more importantly, drive Bharat's growth. We are standing in this very, very holy Tirupati. We are all sitting at the feet of Lord Venkateshwara. This is not a very ordinary temple, not a very ordinary city. This temple is alone worth, if Tirupati Devasthanam is listing in the Indian stock market, its valuation will be 2.5 lakh crore. That will be the valuation of the Tirupati temple. And people have calculated the valuation by using smart metrics. This temple has got close to 10 tons of gold in the bank, 2.5 tons of gold as ornaments, 16,000 crore as bank deposit, 960 properties across India, Bharat. If somebody is doing a smart valuation, it comes to close to 2.5 lakh crore as market cap. To compare Tirupati Devasthanam to some of the large multinational companies in the world, a company like Nestle, a multinational company more than 100 years old, Nestle is around 2,10,000 crore market cap. If you look some of the big oil companies in India, like ONGC, it is around 1.6 lakh crore. Maybe there is something right Tirupati has done. There is something right that is happening in the Tirupati Devasthanam, which was formed by an act in 1932, which underwent some changes. There is a semblance of government control. At the same time, there is a freedom and autonomy also in the board, which has made Tirupati to be a temple in the last 100 years, especially after 1932, to reach this position, to reach this preeminent position. Nowhere in the world we can boast these numbers. Vatican City has seen 90 lakh people visiting it last year. Mecca, Saudi Arabia, 2 crore visited. The city where we are now, Tirupati, it had 3 crore people visiting it last year. One temple, one city had 3 crore people. Again, if somebody is getting into the economics behind Tirupati, of course, temple is big. Of course, Lord Venkateshwara is blessing us. There is a big market cap. There is a huge amount of money. Whether it is trickling down, Harvard has done a study understanding with respect to Tirupati, what is the market forces that is shaping up the city. If somebody has got the time, if you're looking at the Tirupati city per se, the employment that is getting generated, 38% of employment in Tirupati city is more on the trade, and transportation. It is all linked to the temple economy. 19% is closely linked to food manufacturing, value addition in the food industry. Everything, if you see, this temple, the whole district, the whole ecosystem around this place is connected to the offerings and service of God, which creates millions and millions of employment generation. Unfortunately, in our country, after 1947, for a long time, the Marxist concept of history, it always felt temples are a waste. It always felt temples are a wastage because some old kings who did not have any job, just to create labor and employment, they built temples. That is a Marxist version of history that was prevalent in our country for a long, long time. When we talk about Ayodhya, where Lord Ram is majestically back there, and even now in our country, the debate is, what is the point of spending so much money? Who spent that money? Whether it is worth it? In states like Tamil Nadu, even people sitting in government will say, Government of India is wasting so much money in Ayodhya. That is the narrative they try to set. But for common people like you and me, we understand what Ayodhya is trying to do. 85,000 crore investment going to happen in the next 10 years. Crores of people visiting. The kind of economic activity Ayodhya is generating, it is going to have a trickle-down economics to the last person. The person who is involved in the flower business, the person who is assembling the flower, right from agarbatti, right from the puja saman, right from the manufacturing. It is going to create a huge ecosystem that is going to be built around temple economics. The last 10 years, we can confidently say, from Kasi to Ujjain to Ayodhya to Puri Jagannathar. Now, if you look at all the places with the modernization, the money that is getting invested, we are seeing straight away a 20% jump of tourists who want to go there. That is very, very important in our country. We are seeing this rebirth of temple economics. We are seeing this rebirth of common people going to a center of worship, which was standing there for 1,000 years. But maybe in the last 250 years, they never had the opportunity to go and see this pristine place. Now, since it is happening, a new kind of market forces operate. If we wait for another 5-10 years, we can clearly bring out papers. On Kashi Vishwanatha temple, we can clearly bring out papers to say what the temple is, how many people visited, the trickle-down economics, how many people getting benefited, the total footfall. Again for temple in Ujjayi we can bring, again for Ayodhya we can bring, again for Puri Jagannathar temple we can bring. That is why I'm very happy. This convention is acting as a catalyst, bringing all the eminent people across India, ideating, generating knowledge, trying to create a common platform where all of us together we can come, we can talk about how in the future temple can drive the economics of Bharat 25 years from now. Because I'm very, very confident Bharat has got 35 lakh temples, big and small. If I'm talking about my own state, Tamil Nadu has got 79,000 temples, 44,121 temples are under the direct control of HRNCE. We have 604 temples that are more than 1,000 years old. But the temples in Tamil Nadu are entirely different story. If anybody is having an interest, if they try to understand what is happening in Tamil Nadu, what is happening in temples in Tamil Nadu, HRNCA, it is all in shambles. 604 temples more than 1,000 years old, but many people might not even know the names of more than 10. HRNCA, which came in 1925, the current Dravidian party, the previous Avatar Justice Party, the only aim was to throttle. The only aim was to take the spiritual base out of Tamil Nadu. Right from 1926, the first act, the major act which came in 1951. If you look at this whole story, it is a story, a classical story, which will tell us how not to manage and run a temple. A beautiful state, a spiritual state like Tamil Nadu, where the state government has appointed endowment officers illegally, EOs, who control even our puja should be done, who control right up to the puja articles purchase, who without any training try to repair temples which are 1,000 years old by a cement and mortar, without even having an idea the kind of damage they are doing to a historic place.